Oh, Sebastian. Okay, so you may have to crop it a little bit, but what is that we're looking at here?
So this is the last message I sent to James. He did
Hold on,
not
guys,
share
I'm gonna make it
this.
big. I'm gonna make it big, chat. Hold on. Let me make Zach big. Let me expand. All right, you have the floor. Go ahead.
So this is the message I sent him on Friday whenever he texted Kayla and was like, Kayla, I'm suing Zach. He sent her a paragraph. She didn't reply to it. She will be putting that in her video as well. I sent this to him on Friday.
Can you read it to us?
Oh, you want me to read it? Okay,
certainly see it.
So it was like, okay, so I said,
hold on, Zach. Hold on. Pink Scorpio, do you mind reading this?
Yes. Okay. Zach, if you don't mind just staying out of the frame, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. So this is messages between James Charles and Zach Sellers. We have right here on Friday at 12:14 a.m. It says, "Hey there. James Charles defamation is actually kind of insane. Just wanted to reach out to you. Yes, I was first-hand witness when you were sending ASS pictures and surprise pictures to Evan on his phone on Instagram through Instagram photos. And just to let you know, you were the one that had vanish mode put on the Instagram messages. So I would be glad to have my lawyer and legal team to fight this in court because just so you know, vanish mode and everything that was said on Instagram can be pulled, and every phone call and FaceTime can be pulled as well. And I do have access of proof that you know the dates and the times, just so you know, like I know a lot. So I will love for you to take legal action for the simple fact everything that has been said as the truth, and Evan also has things on his phone. So just hope that you're ready for the world to really know that everything can be backed up and brought back to life of everything that you had sent to Evan. I saved everything from Evan." End.
But I also see at the top where he says, sorry he treated you like shit. He definitely needs help from professionals, with a heart emoji from you. Can you tell us what that's about?
yeah, so I left him on red. I can go back and screenshot that message. I don't know if you guys probably seen that message or not. He did not share that message neither with you guys, I don't think.
He's red. It actually has a heart emoji from you.
Yeah, the one that I hearted.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked the message because Kayla told me not to reply back to that because he tried to take a phone call. But I can go and screenshot that so you guys can read that one as well if y'all want.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
All right, chat. There we go. This is everyone. People in the chat I saw were saying fake receipts, fake text messages.
Rich, Be Better did say that James was going to manipulate text messages to fit his narrative.
Oh, he did. I didn't watch that video yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched Be
He
Better.
did it all.
Okay,
He figured
so-
through the entire video.
So we scrolled up. Okay. Is it possible that we could see the top half of that first message?
Yeah. So it's a long so that one up there, the purple one's a long one, so I'm gonna have to scroll up again.
Screenshot. Everybody screenshot. There you go.
Yeah, screenshot. Y'all can have all this.
There we go. Everyone get your receipts. Drop a rose.
Okay.
Right.
Are we open?
Show the first message. Let me see. We have a message from. Let me see. Oh, the chat's moving way too fast. You guys, listen. I like to have people in here who will give me criticism and look at things this way or that way, but the chat's moving way too fast, so I'm going to go into sub-only chat right now. All right. Let's go. So, Pink, do you want to read that, or we already read this one?
We haven't read this one yet, but I am asking to see the purple message first because that is what Zach sent to James, which ended up, we'll get to read the response from James to that chronological order. Yes, correct. Also, I just want
you're gonna tell it right.
Exactly. I have one question for Zach. Would you like me to read first and save my question, or are you comfortable answering the question completely open to the no comment? Read it first and then question.
I would say read it first, just so only because you have to understand when you have this many people in the chat, over 4,000, they've never even heard of me before, right? So they don't even know what's going on.
They're coming after me.
Yes, they are coming after you, Zach.
Not
Okay.
taking down. But like you have to move a lot slower when you have this much people in the chat because one thing throws it all off. You know what I'm saying? So you have to move with caution and almost like you're talking like to an alien explaining things so that everyone's on the same page. All right, so go
Okay.
ahead.
If everybody could mute, please. Thank you. So this is a message from Zach to James Charles, and it reads as follows. The whole plan was to speak out for justice for Kayla on Evan's actions. We are from the small same town. I'm going to be honest, I reached out to Kayla because Evan treated me like SHIT, but I was there for him because there was times he tried to harm himself and I didn't want anyone in this world to do such a thing. I was trying to give you a heads up because I felt like that's what was the right thing to do, or that was the right thing to do, James. I spoke with Kayla, and to support her, it seemed like talking about this was the right thing to do. I'm not sure if you ignored my message in general or never seen it. On Monday, when I reached out to you, I tried to get in touch because I answered one last call from Evan, and he told me he didn't care that I was dropping him and that you guys are still in contact and that you are continuing to, quote, advise him to stay quiet as long as he can, even though it makes him look guilty, end quote. So now we move on to the next messages, and this is James Charles' response to Zach.
And he did edit this one.
Ooh, okay.
Everybody screenshot.
So this is the edited response from James Charles to Zach. We are not in contact. I stopped responding to her after that video. When he asked for advice, I originally did tell him he shouldn't respond because he's a effing DA and would never be able to defend himself. Clearly, we know why. Coachella is my busiest time of year, so my DMs are insane. I genuinely didn't see them. I got tagged in your video on TikTok, and that's how I saw them and responded back immediately. I really appreciate you reaching out. I wish I would have seen them sooner. I'm really sorry he treated you like SHIT. He definitely needs help from professionals. End. And then we go back to the first message that we read, which I don't mind repeating, if you'd like to scroll back down.
Which one do you want me to go to?
The first picture that you initially posted where you were the hey there. Okay. No. The first one.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's the last message. Okay, there we go. Hey there, James Charles. Defamation is actually kind of insane. Just wanted to reach out to you. Yes, I was a first-hand witness when you were sending ASS pictures and surprise pictures to Evan on his phone on Instagram through Instagram photos. And just to let you know, you were the one that had vanish mode put on the Instagram messages. So I would be glad to have my lawyer and my legal team to fight this. What was said on Instagram can be pulled, and every phone call and FaceTime can be pulled as well. And I do have access of proof that you know the dates and the time, just so you know, like I know a lot. So I would love for you to take legal action for the simple fact that everything has been said as the truth, and Evan also has things on his phone. So just hope that you're ready for the world to really know that everything can be backed up and brought back to life of everything that you had sent to Evan. I saved everything from Evan. End.
Do you think, Zach, am I out of bounds to say this? Do you think that Evan Johnson will ever speak out against James Charles?
I'm in confusion right now if he has gotten him to sign an NDA and maybe gave him some money to not speak on this, because that would
listen. I have people sign NDAs too. I don't see anything wrong with it, especially when you are worth a lot of money. You don't want to get, your dirty laundry aired out. But I will say this. I feel like Evan Johnson, now that he's in jail, There's no way for him to really speak out about James Charles, even at this point. Do you think that you will ever get your hands on his phone?
That's what my legal team is working on right now. We're trying to figure out how the laws in the state of Tennessee work. If this goes as far as James is wanting this to go, if so, then by no means, my lawyers are going to try to pull in and get data through the, I think she said CS or something CSI or CC, something like that. She explained some kind of legal term that yes, we will be able to get all the IP, and then we'll get to see text messages, iMessages between them two. We'll get to see the phone call logs, and then she is reaching out to Instagram because Instagram is Meta, I believe, to see what are the legal ways to get the messages back from there. There has been cases in the past where Meta has released vanish mode messages for pedo things.
Follow the live crib. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, everyone, for dropping roses and showing love in support of James Charles and in support of Jackie.
One is a federal case and one is a civil case. There's absolutely no way for a civil case that they're going to be able to gather these records from Instagram. And even earlier when you were talking about Snapchat, that you guys know people at Snapchat that can get these videos for you. Absolutely not. It requires a subpoena.
Yeah,
You have to go through the police. You're
sincerely,
talking a $20,000 investigation.
I'll put you on mute real quick. Sincerely, I agree with Sincerely, Zach. I have a feeling that you're not going to get these photos and videos between, Evan Johnson and James Charles. And I'm not saying that because I'm a James Charles hater or Kayla hater. I'm just like looking at, I've been doing it for so long. I just find that hard to believe to get those receipts. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, we'll report about it. But I kind of feel like that's going to be like a wall you're going to hit.
Yes. So one big thing my lawyer team is actually fighting is they're pulling back his character from the 2020 allegations with underage kids. So my lawyer said there is a way if he can get them on board to do a full investigation to see if there is any more victims recently or in the past year, then they will be able to subpoena all records because that will turn criminal. There has been a kid that is just turned 18 years old that reached out to me. He has all of the receipts and he did share them with me. I don't know if I can share those. I would need to get with him. But he has a lot of evidence, and it was done on Instagram, and it shows that James put Instagram messages in vanish mode, and he actually took screenshots, and I didn't know this, but in the message, it was like, why did you screenshot that? I didn't know if something's on vanish mode, it shows that you screenshot something, but apparently it shows them.
Yeah.
So it's going to get a little ugly. My team is trying to not only, get justice, for, the Kayla, because what he done to Kayla, to get justice for me, because I'm not a liar, but also get justice for all these poor kids that's had to face trauma with him.
That's
so
good.
It's kind of circulating a lot more stuff than just this.
Can I ask you a question,
We're talking
Zach?
about 4 different cases here.
Zach.
Absolutely.
So, James Charles is always on roadblocks, okay? And everybody knows, if you really want some information, I would get a hold of your lawyers and tell them to go to Roblox because he's always on Roblox. And we all know that that's like the biggest pedo thing. We're not going to go in there, but I'm telling you right there's probably like a lot of information that you need. All the information you need is right there. You know what I'm saying? And it's all saved in there. And the crazy part is we're talking, there's so many different facets to this story of James Charles. And this is just the beginning of the downfall of him. And I'm really proud in a way that, you spoke up. And I'm really because a lot of us have been scared because, we don't have the money like he does to fight lawyers. You know what I mean? And we don't, he has money, and he can like literally hire anybody he wants, and any lawyer team. And you know what the crazy part about it is that I still believe that.
Hold on, Armando, hold on. I put you on mute. Uzi, you had a lot to say in the comment section. Uzi, do you want to speak now?
Yeah, hey guys. So
Can you turn your camera on?
I'm kind of laying in my bed. I'm a hot mess right now. I don't really want to turn my camera on because I know people are screen recording, but this is me. This is my voice. I mean, that's what I could verify with you guys. This is my actual account.
Well, what were you saying in the chat to bring everybody up to speed?
Well, what I'm saying is basically, I think that Zach is not lying because based on my experience that I've had with James in the past, which was in 2019 during the Bi Sister scandal, James took advantage of me too when I was a minor, and I was 17 years old when this happened. James basically, how it started was we talked on Snapchat. I reached out to him during the Bi Sister scandal because I felt bad for him. And then he wanted me to add him on Snap, so we added each other. I guess we became not really friends, but we were like snapping each other and stuff. And then just straight up, he started asking me for nudes. And then
Did you post a video on TikTok before about
I did
it?
post a video a long time ago, but I didn't post all the receipts. I posted some of them because Chris Hansen, I don't know if you know the guy from To Catch a Predator. Chris Hansen actually DM'd me on Twitter and said to me that he wanted to sit down and he wanted me to come to New York and do an interview so that we could create a docuseries about James' history of him being a predator, if that makes sense. So I didn't get to release everything. There was this whole thing, and then for some reason, Chris didn't pursue the documentary because I guess James silenced everybody, and I guess he threatened, threatened to sue. And also, Chris didn't want it to look like he was capitalizing off the whole situation of James taking advantage of minors, if that makes sense.
Wait, and how old were you again?
I was 17 at the time.
So you're coming on this live stream and you're essentially saying that you were a victim of James Charles.
I was a victim, yeah, and I have receipts to prove that as well. I actually still have my phone from 2019 right under my bed with videos.
Ozzy, can you get in touch with me, please?
Sorry, who said that? Zach?
Zach.
I already DM'd you. We talked.
Oh my God. Oh, my
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Okay, I need to be in touch with you for sure. I need to, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've already, I'm friends with a couple of the other victims that James has taken advantage of. There's people from my city in Toronto. And we're
Please.
friends because of the whole situation, you know what I mean? And they have been in the same situation where he was taking advantage of vulnerable people that were minors, right? Obviously, we used to watch his videos. He was a big influence to the community, and we're just like, wow, it's so cool that we get to talk to somebody like that, you know what I mean? And that's just back in that time when he was working with like Kylie Jenner and the Kardashians and all those people, right? As a young individual, you look at that and you're like, holy fuck, mind my language. Sorry, I don't mean to swear on the live, but holy crap, like you're talking to somebody with such influence, and then that individual takes advantage of you, and they use their power to take advantage of you because they know that you look up to them, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
I also feel like people don't understand that, like, this is a pattern. It's not just like a
Exactly, that's what I'm
one-time
saying.
thing. It has been a pattern for several years.
That's Uzi there. That's what Uzi
Yeah,
looks
that's my old video. That's my hat trick. And another thing that I do want to say as well, like I have reached out to James a couple of times on Snap, and he has opened my messages. I've screenshotted that too. They're all on my other phone. I have an entire file of all this stuff because of when Chris wanted to do a documentary, right? Like I came together with a bunch of stuff. I have about 30 or 40 receipts. So many different receipts and stuff. I don't know. It's just the whole situation is crazy. I hate that everybody else keeps forgiving him and they're allowing him to get away with what he did, right? Like it's just wrong. The first time when he spoke to a minor, he should have been canceled, kicked off the flipping internet. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. Like you were taking advantage of people. You got caught, and then for you to sit there on the internet and say, "Oh, like it was an accident. I learned from it." Fine, okay.
No, he said I was
You did it
desperate.
again. You did it again. How many times are you going to keep doing it? And then you're going to keep begging for forgiveness from your audience. You're going to get canceled. Then you're going to come back. It's just like a weird pattern of behavior that he keeps portraying. He needs psychological help. And I already told you. And James, I know James is definitely watching this. James, if I see you in LA, it's on site. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Because you should have never, ever, ever did what you did to me when I was a minor. Now I'm an adult, and now it's on site. And I'm not scared.
What did he do to you?
He took advantage of me when I was a minor. He was telling me I was insecure because I didn't send him nude photos. How are you saying that to a 17-year-old? Are you weird? You're telling me I'm insecure because I didn't want to show you my dick? Mind my language, but that's exactly what he said. And then
Did he ever
stopped
ask you
calling
for
me.
like an age check or anything?
No, he never asked me for an age check. I still have all of our DMs. He blocked me on Instagram, but I screen recorded everything on my other phone.
I throw up.
So it is like, it's just crazy, but I know he's definitely watching this. I know he's definitely in this. He's watching this, but that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't think Zach is lying, and I think that people
Well,
need to.
hold on. We have okay. My lawyer just said, from a legal standpoint,
Mhm.
a previous experience with someone doesn't equate to being guilty now.
Which, okay, that's understandable, but like it'll still prove the fact that he has this behavior that he keeps repeating. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's not going to stop. Like what are we, like 5 years since my sister, and you're still doing the same thing? Worse, actually. Not well. It's kind of in the same category. You know what I mean? Your behavior is still the same. You're still
Let's
doing
go back to Zach. Thank you so much, Uzi, for speaking. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys
Thank
take
you.
care.
Yeah, we're so sorry that happened.
So Zach, have you been getting hate saying that you're like a fake friend to Evan Johnson?
I've been getting tremendous hate as of today.
What you think today was like the most hate you got?
Absolutely.
Why?
Ever since.
Oh, because James Charles said your name in the video.
Yeah, he said my name in the video. I've
he's
been
gonna sue you.
attacked. It's literally, it seems like the switch up was crazy. He posted a video and the switch up was crazy. Don't get me wrong, like him saying my name literally just pushed more people to come to my platform. But that's not, I don't even care about that. It's the fact that he's now pushing my name out there when he knows I'm speaking the truth. Like that's not, I don't feel like that's okay when I'm actually speaking the truth and he knows I'm speaking the truth.
What do your family have to say about this?
They are very upset, and they told me to do not let it get to my mental health, and that we will fight it to the end, no matter if he's a millionaire or what.
Yep.
We have other people behind us that, you know, also, if they have to help out with money, they will. And this is not something I'm not going to let go.
Good.
Rich, can I ask something really quick? Can you bring up Hello X Cub, the lawyer in question?
All right.
They requested.
Lawyer X Club, you gotta drop a Galaxy baby up in here.
Okay.
Also next,
I
there
got
is
over 1,000 people requesting to join. Ain't nobody sent a Galaxy.
there's also one question that I know the chat really wants Evan, that the chat really wants Zachy to answer. If we get to 100,000, little things up here, we will ask the question.
No,
Zachy-
hold on. Zach, one of the questions I see is, why isn't Kayla following me?
Kayla follows me on TikTok. I'm not a fangirl. I'm not going to bet, but oh my gosh, you don't follow me on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram, but I don't think that should justify friendship.
Okay. That made sense. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Rich, I just wanted to let you know that I'm keeping a list going of all the questions people are asking in the chat.
Thank you, Peter, for being helpful. See that, Armando? All right. Pink, what were you saying before I cut you off?
Yeah, that was the question. But the second part to that is that if that is the case, then why is she still following James Charles and she doesn't follow you?
That is true. Kayla Malik does follow James Charles.
Yes. She's not going to publicly unfollow until she relays her whole story out there. And when I say that I was with Kayla today, her family and Kayla are on board. Kayla is on board. It's not going to be 24 hours. I will reach out to her tomorrow to see a time frame and see if it's okay for me to release that. But I can promise you she's coming after it. She's not okay with it. By no means. She's not taking any money, no hush money. She's ready for him to go down. He deserves to go down, and you know what he done after she was so vulnerable, and then he made a joke, and then about that. Is that something about? I can't remember the lines of the joke, but he was talking about saying can I have him or something like that. And then plus, the receipts that she's gotten, the clarification she's gotten, she is 100% speaking on this.
Wow, but we don't have a date. It could be like next week.
We don't have a date yet. I'm hoping he.
What's their read though? Why can't Kayla make that decision? Why do you have to be involved in that? You seem to be speaking a lot for her through this whole interview during your lives. You seem to occasionally leak more information that you should be, and it seems like you're doing a lot of taking advantage of sort of her emotional vulnerability. She's in a position of being scared and confused. She's just gone through something really tremendous. She's at the center of like trending on social media. Like all her private business is out there, and it feels like you're sort of manipulating and and taking advantage of this situation.
My best friend Kayla asked me to speak publicly about this first. So if that you have your opinion, and I respect that, but when I say we're in touch, she asked me to talk about this publicly first because I was firsthand witness. Also, she will tell you this is my story also, because as soon as he left LA, I started hanging out with him every day. So from the day that he left her house to the day he got to Nashville, that's where it left off, and I come in the picture. So she has asked me to speak with her as why we are starting a company, and I run everything through Kayla. Everything I talk about through Kayla. I ask her, what can I say? There is a video. I recorded the court hearing. I told her, she told me I could post. I said, absolutely not. I don't want to post that. I will send it to you, and I respect you. When you're ready and you want to show your platform that, you can post that. It's on my phone. If I wanted to, if I want to be selfish, I could, but I'm not that person, and I'm not going to, and that's her decision if she ever wants to post that, and it's there if she wants it.
Because but like
not an actual 501c3, right? Not a charity.
No, it is a charity. Yes, it is. It is going to be. Yes, it is. I have charities that are actually helping me through the legal matters of actually how to set it up as a charity. I go to a business lawyer next week, and after the papers are drawn up for a charity, she will review them with her lawyer, and then we'll be ready to go.
Okay, everybody in the chat, do you think that Zach is milking it for views? Drop a 1 or drop a 2 in the chat.
I just wanted to chime in really quick. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Natty in here, it's the 501c3. She is actually, her family owned 2 different charities, and she is the one that's invested over $7,000 into mine and Kayla's charity, and she's also going to be a founder as well. So you can ask Nat anything, and she will be there, and she knows everything. She's seen everything.
Are you reading that from a text message?
No, she's in the group. She's in here.
Oh, she's in here.
Yeah, it's Natty.
Thank you so much for subscribing.
I did want to chime in on what Sincerely said really quick, just to kind of clarify something. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but Kayla did make a statement to the Just Church podcast to Oscar, and she did say that everything that Zach and her sister are saying is true, not clarifying any names with James or anything, but she did say everything that Zach was saying was true, and that she has been made aware of it.
OMG Peter, at this time, do you want to ask what the top question was?
Yeah, so I saw this before. One of the questions we got was, you did say something about Coachella and that James was gonna get him into Coachella or something, and he was gonna get an artist pass, and that James was gonna fly him out, but he just had to go home. Is there any proof of Evan saying that to you, or that what happened there? Because I feel
yes, that proof cannot be put on the internet right now because my lawyer has that. So James, I did not know this, but James has connections, and he tries to get as much as his team to Coachella and buys Coachella artist bands. He had purchased an artist band as a group sale or whatever through whatever artist. I don't know all of that. But Evan had an artist band. But until Kayla came forward on her part 1 podcast, obviously that artist band had to go because Evan showing up to Coachella, that would just be crazy. So that just kind of, Kayla ruined that for that whole situation.
And you weren't there at Coachella, right?
I was not at Coachella.
And neither was Evan Johnson?
No, Evan did not go to Coachella after, obviously he stayed at his house after Kayla came out with that video.
That would have been crazy if James Charles was there with Evan Johnson and they ran into Kayla. And she would have been like, what are you doing?
So this is how they were going to keep Evan secured. So with an artist band, don't get me wrong, I don't know anything about Coachella. I have not been to Coachella. I don't know how it runs. But apparently there is like private parties behind the scenes, stage and stuff. And that's where Evan was going to hang out until, the concert was over. Just so all eyes were on Evan instead of being where all the artists and stuff are at and just out in the public, like kind of how Kayla's out there and all your other influencers and stuff like that.
Wow.
I don't know anything about Coachella, so I'm just going based off that's, the Evan conversation, between James.
OMG, your next question?
Okay, the next question was, is there any way that James could have, Evan could have kind of manipulated into telling you things that weren't really true about James?
Let's talk about that one. That's a good question.
Because James did say oh, maybe he manipulated you too. Is that true? Do you think that there is a possibility that
First-hand experience, I saw the video and I saw the pictures and I'm ready for court. Absolutely not.
I did see it in the chat as well. People were saying that James's face wasn't in it. Could it have been someone else?
He could have been sending it to me.
So could it have been someone else in the video?
What you're saying? Yes, it could be. It's been someone else. Absolutely.
So Zach, I have a quick question. You stated that you didn't know Kayla, you only knew Evan. Is that 100% factual? You had no contact with Kayla?
Absolutely, very factual. And if you want, I can ask Kayla if she can clarify that with the internet as well.
Wow.
Do you think when James originally posted the video that he uploaded today, do you think that he was kind of trying to threaten you in a way? He was trying to make you scared? Because that's the vibe I got. I don't know if the chat or you guys felt that way. Because we've seen this time and time again with James, where he kind of uses his wealth and his fame to kind of try to threaten people. And as Armando said before, I'm really happy that this is not happy obviously, but you're not scared of James.
I'm not scared. Absolutely.
But do you think that was his intention, making that originally?
I think that he looked at me as okay, look, James is looking at I'm a millionaire and he's looking at me like I'm a no one and thinking I have no money, so there's no fight and that I probably can't afford. I'm not gonna lie, my lawyer is $400 an hour. So obviously,
damn,
$400
that was
an hour.
my escort.
I want to see if you think you guys.
Okay.
I will show you guys right now what I had to sign, and it will show you the cost that I have to pay. It's ridiculous because I had to sign it and get it sent back. I'll show you guys.
Here we go. Well, we have a comment from Kayla Smith. All attention should be on supporting Kayla. You and James fight it in silence off the internet, said Kayla. What about Be Better knowing word for word, bar for bar, what James Charles video? What is that?
I want to say one thing if I can. Though, when it comes to each sort of person having their own truth, whether, that be Kayla or Zach or James, The reality is there's one common denominator with all three of these people, and that's Evan. And for anybody who's been in relationships with narcissists and manipulators and people
yes.
who control, you know that they really control the narrative of how people see them, what, their actual relationships and things look like. So for all we know, each person could be telling their own individual truth, and Evan be the master manipulator here.
Well,